But there are other shifts that you may need to make to go to the next level that maybe aren't so much business or tangible things. Maybe there's some personal or some intangible things. Maybe the shift that you need to make is more about your mindset and your perspective and your worldview. Welcome to the very first episode of the Shift podcast. My name is Matt Ware.
And I'm Evan Weiland. And Matt, we can't be more excited to get this thing started with our new audience. Matt, tell us, what is The Shift and what can the audience expect in the coming weeks?
Yeah, well, the idea for this podcast started a number of months ago. You and I were having a conversation like we often do about life and business and solving all the world's problems. And we thought, there could be other people who would benefit from listening in on this conversation. And that kind of started this idea of saying maybe starting a podcast would be something that, not only would we enjoy, but other people could benefit from, learn from, be encouraged, be inspired. And so, we started tossing around, how we might do it and put it together. And we realized we need a name for it. We brainstormed a bunch of different names and nothing quite seemed to stick. Until one day we were sitting in a coffee shop, a lot like this one, and all of a sudden the words "the shift" just kind of emerged in our conversation. And it was like in that moment we knew that is the name for the podcast, because that really is what this is all about. It's what a lot of our conversations are about. It's what we believe really can help our audience in so many ways, because we know that as we speak to leaders, business owners, entrepreneurs, for so many of us, we need to make a shift in our lives to go to the next level.
Walking through our entrepreneur journey, what else do we have except for that unique experience? And so we decided early on in this podcast that one of the pillars is going to be authenticity. And what we talk about in the coming episodes is going to be, we're going to do our best to bring content that resonates with you, but is authentic to us.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure that we're not just talking the talk, but we're walking the walk. Yeah. And the things that we bring are going to resonate with our audience because they're personal to us and because it's our personal experience.
Yeah. Well, and the reality is we know we don't have all the answers, but we've learned some things along the way. And we think that maybe some things we've learned can help other people, maybe even help them avoid some of the mistakes and pitfalls that we've encountered along the way. The truth is we all stand on the shoulders of people who have gone before us. And I don't know, I'd love the idea that maybe somebody could stand on our shoulders and move through their entrepreneurial journey further and faster even than we did.
We're passionate about small business.
Yeah.
Not only that, but we're passionate about seeing other entrepreneurs succeed in small business. The guys at the top, they've got their people.
Right.
But us small business owners, we have to band together.
Right.
The entrepreneur journey, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
And so, I'm passionate. I get excited when I sit down with other entrepreneurs, hear their story, and I have to hold myself back from giving unsolicited advice, right? Because I love to consult. I love to give advice on small business. I love rapping about it. So I've heard someone say, that you love what you do if you would do it without getting paid.
Right.
And so, that's kind of like full circle of what we're doing here today.
Right.
We want to share our passion, our authenticity with the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're not being paid yet, but if there's anybody out there who wants to sponsor this podcast, we'd love to hear from you. You know where to find us. But in all seriousness, we just want to be able to give what we have, right? Like we feel like we have some insight, we have some wisdom, and we want to share that with people to help them make whatever shift they need to get to the next level in their life and their business.
So here are a couple examples of the type of shift that you may need to make. Starting a side hustle. Getting into a partnership. So maybe you've built something and now it's time to shift from working in the business to working on the business. I know we talk about that all the time, Matt. It's something that I'm super excited about. Or maybe you're thinking about selling your business and you don't know where to start making that shift. Matt, do any of these resonate with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think people on their entrepreneurial journey may encounter any or all of these, right? Mm-hmm. But there are other shifts that you may need to make to go to the next level that maybe aren't so much business or tangible things. Maybe there's some personal or some intangible things. Maybe the shift that you need to make is more about your mindset and your perspective and your worldview. Maybe it's about attitude, right? And sort of how you're approaching your business or your relationship. Some of the shifts that you need to make might be in the form of mental or emotional or physical health, or prioritizing your time or your energy or your relationships or work-life balance. No matter where you're at, I promise you this, there are shifts that you need to make if you want to get from where you are to where you ultimately want to be.
I want to spend the next few minutes letting the audience get to know who we are. So I'm going to go ahead and let you do your intro, and then I'll just follow you.
Yeah, you bet. So I own a digital marketing company called Catalyst Marketing. We're focused on social media advertising, and started that company about a year and a half ago. And so I've been in the startup phase, now kind of shifting into the scaling phase. That's part of where I'm at in my entrepreneurial journey. So right there in the trenches with some of you that are watching and listening. But prior to that, I spent most of my career in the nonprofit sector, specifically in church and ministry. Pastored a large church for a number of years, $3+ million in revenue, 25 team members. And so a lot of my sort of chops are in organizational leadership and in communication. Those are things that I really love. And so I've been able to use those things to help coach and consult business owners, business leaders, and I love getting to do that. I think a big part of my purpose really is to give people hope. Napoleon said that leaders are dealers in hope. And I think of myself that way. I want to bring hope to people that no matter where they're at and what they're dealing with, they can take the next steps, they can move forward, they can make tomorrow better than today. Ultimately, they can make the shifts that are required to get where they want to be in their life, whether it's personally or professionally.
I love it.
And so I'm excited about doing this podcast because I think that's a way that I can help kind of live that out.
So for the last 5 years, I've been head down working on my agency called Digital Factory. I cater to software development companies in Latin America. I help them build and execute a go-to-market strategy for North America. So think about IT outsourcing to India or Eastern Europe, and Latin America is becoming the next emerging market in IT outsourcing. And like any entrepreneur, I have side hustles. We like to chase the shiny object.
Right. Yeah. We can't just have one thing going.
Of course not. No. And so the two things that I like to do on the side are small business acquisitions and consulting for local small businesses here in Denver on the marketing and operations side.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for all of those life experiences to come out, throughout all these episodes.
So what can you expect from this podcast? Well, first of all, Matt and I, we have full plates.
Yep.
And we have businesses to run,
right?
And we have families to take care of.
This is just another one of our side hustles.
This is another shiny object thing going on. But the goal in this is to bring authenticity to this podcast on a weekly basis. We're navigating our own businesses and we're helping other clients navigate theirs in different capacities, but we want to bring all of that into this podcast.
Yeah. And so we're committed to dropping an episode every week that is 30 minutes or less so that it fits nicely in your commute, your morning run, your walking the dog after dinner, whatever it is. We want to package it in a way that's easily accessible for you.
Yeah. And you've probably noticed that we're not in a traditional studio, right? A traditional podcast studio. We're actually sitting in a coffee shop, and that was intentional. When Matt and I set out to create this podcast, we put our brains together and we thought, what would make sense in terms of authenticity? Yeah. Our very first time in front of our audience, how could we show them the authentic side of what we do daily behind the scenes? And so we contacted the coffee shop, we hit up the owner, and we struck a deal to come here and record because we're just passionate about small business.
Yeah. We love small businesses. We want to help small businesses succeed. And so we partnered with Plume Coffee Bar in Silver Plume, Colorado, one of the coolest spots that we've been to in a long, long time. We would love it if you would stop in and support them in and out of the, when you're coming in and out of the mountains on I-70, they're right off the interstate. We love these guys and we know you're going to love them too.
Now you know what the Shift podcast is all about. You know who it's for and what type of content you can expect in the coming weeks. Matt, tell them where they can find us.
Yeah, you can find us at theshiftpodcast.co, and it would mean the world to us if you would like and share and subscribe to this podcast. We want to help as many people as we can make the shift that they need to make to go to the next level in their lives and in their business.
Man, I'm so pumped about this.
Yeah, man, me too. See you guys next week.